Welcome to ANZ Combined Racing League's Series 4, the V8 Supercars Championship. I'm your host, Neil Haynes, for tonight, and we are here at round one for Daytona, the NASCAR road course with that little chicane that's at the end of the last banking curve. Some people say it's a silly little chicane, but obviously with these V8 Supercars, it actually slows those cars down before they have to hit into turn one in the braking area, which definitely saves a few dramas out on track. So we haven't raced here before on AMS2. As the championship for the V8 Supercars, we have a strong history here at ANZCRL, running the Supercars on the Xbox Project Cars 2. And this series is going to feature 8 rounds. And in those 8 rounds, round 3 is the Bathurst 1000, which is actually coming up this weekend on the 14th and 15th of October. 461 laps on the Sunday, with split up into 4 sessions with 40 laps each, with 41 laps on the last session, I should say. But that should be interesting. And the final round is the Adelaide 500. So, but to start off, we were out here at Daytona, and 2 races. And the first one that we're going to show now was 2 p.m. start time with a heavy cloud and 17 laps. Now the tyres were set at ×3 tyre wear, so that will obviously create a few dramas with the tyres. We deem them as like a super soft compound. Too many lockups were going to hurt the cars as well. So it was a big thing to see if the drivers can get to that halfway mark, which is around about lap 8, when we should see some pit stops. And then there is that mandatory pit stop. Fuel was set to authentic, so the fuel burn was as per normal. And so, yeah, this is the qualifying results that we did have for race 1. And it was Whalen who came out and took first position. We saw him in the Porsche Carrera Cup Series doing well in that series. Missed a few rounds, or didn't finish a couple, and he could have been a lot better up the order, but finished, I think it was around about 7th or 8th in that championship with Gun 180, who took out that championship, so he'll be starting alongside him on row 1. Row 2, Dado Racer with Highlander alongside him on row 2. Row 3 was Timmy and Zachy 3, who put in a good qualifying lap there to be in 6th position. And so he'll be alongside Timmy 82, Detective 209, and John King. They're alongside each other on row 4. And row 5, it's Zach 18. So the Zachy boys are up in the top 10, with their mate Loza in 10th as well on the 5th row. Commander Cirrus and Christopher Razor will be on row 6. Row 7 will be Commander Jim and Metal Drive. Glide Science and Ashley share the 8th row. 9th row will be Bo Kane and James on his return to the V8 Supercars, and myself, Woody Lizard, all the way down there in 19th position alongside my mate there, the Unicorn, on row 10. Way down, got a lot of work to do. Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome. And he didn't get a lap in, but on the 21st, and Captain Awesome again didn't get a lap timed in. And Rishi will round out the field back on row 12. Wow, so that's a big grid for us here at ANZCRL. So let's now hit the action on track for the replay of this race that we had back on the 10th of the 9th, for round 1 here at Daytona. Race 1, 2 p.m, and it is go. And it looks like Whalen has got the jump. If we just jump on the board here, but it's Gunner actually into turn 1 on the outside, Whalen on the inside, getting on through. They all get through that first corner, not too bad as the drivers are filtering on through here now. And it's all looking fairly good. They're all weaving down through the opening part of the circuit. But it's Whalen who's been able to hold on to the lead of this race. And it's Gunner seeing if he can put in a chase early on. So he's tagging onto the back of Whalen in the Penrite car. Chasing down the Cool Drive car in the opening laps. And comes on through out of the infield section up onto the banking of the NASCAR banking. And Dado Racer just behind him is China, has got a big field there behind with Highlander under pressure from Timmy82 early on in this bit here as Timmy's having a look. As we pick him up coming into the bus top chicane, and it's Highlander coming in hot and taking a little bit more curb. All those drivers getting greedy, getting the most they can. And this is a hectic start to this race. Plenty going on. As we're looking at Zach 18. And he's finding himself just behind his brother there of Zachy 3. But look at the three of them coming through here into this chicane. Loza hard on the brakes. Oh, and it looks like James 16th has actually had a little spin. No, it wasn't James 16. Sorry, it's Bo Kane. I think it may have been. Zachy 3's coming into the pit lane. So the cameras here are doing a great job at Daytona. But we've got a little bit of work to do to try and get them all stabilised here. But here we go. Christopher Razor in the Dunlop car. There's a wild card entry. Oh, and just behind him, Slide Signs having a little look down the inside of James 16, getting it all wrong, trying to get that power back down, dropping a ton of places. He was fighting for 12th, now he's down to 15th. And just in front of him, Captain Awesome is doing some work on the back of Bo Kane. And it looks like Loz is under attack here at the moment as well with Christopher Razor just taking his overtake up there into the top 10. So Christopher's making his way through this field. And into the bus stop chicane. Back up front here with Timmy82 in the Appliance Online car. Oh, these cameras, I'm apologising. It's a little bit of hard work. AMS2, please get your cameras back organising how it used to. But anyway, here we go. We're catching on Timmy82 now, seeing if he can get onto the back of Highlander. He's just been dropping a little bit. A lot of these drivers will be managing these tyres. As I said, ×3 tyre wear. And, as Gunner's had a move for the lead. He's taken the spot on Wayland. After Wayland looks like he ran maybe a little bit deep into turn one. We're just saying how they're looking after the brakes. But Wayland is now trying to see if he can fend off Dado Racer, who's got the headlights blaring in the Patronus car. You see that car, that livery actually in the V8 Supercars, still in the Super 2. Obviously a little bit more modernised, but it's good to see all these liveries found on race department. There's Timmy82, here he goes. He's right on the back now as we ride inboard here with Timmy82, seeing if he can upset Highlander into the bus stop chicane. Maxing out to nearly 300 kilometres an hour before they get on the brakes. There's a car in front of them. Dado Racer has absolutely made a mockery there into the bus stop chicane, and he's dropped from third position now down to fifth. As Dado got his braking all wrong, came in a bit too hot, and we've now got the back of John King, who's now got himself into sixth position and challenging on the back of Dado Racer. So Gunner has been able to extend this lead now to just over 1 second after making this pass on Wayland. John King doing a good job here on his return to the V8 Supercars. And big welcome also to this man, Commander Cirrus. We haven't seen him on AMS2 for some time. And he's been out having some fun on iRacing. And he thought the pull of these V8s just was too good to refuse. What a livery he's got, the Irwin. Bunnings car. And they're all lapping in the 150s. The majority of these top 8 drivers, other than obviously Gunner with a 149.5 that previous lap. A nice little battle here shaping up with myself, Woody Lizard, and chasing down Captain Awesome in one of the Red Bull Ampol Racing. Slide Sign's trying to make his way back up the grid after he had that little spin earlier on. You see how much the cars are just on edge as they are screaming into the bus stop chicane. Again, it's Highlander who's just holding off this train of cars, as it looks like Dado Race is having a look down the inside of Timmy. So they've got this NASCAR chicane. He's going to be on the on Alex. They've already got through that chicane into turn 1. And he's made that move up into 4th position. So good job by Dado. And then down the back here, Loza. He's trying to see if he can get Commander Jim, who's just in front of him. And then behind him, Bo Kane, who's having a good race there in position 11. Hey, it's Ellie. He's in pit lane. I think he is retired early on. Metal Drive in the Bottle. And he's finding himself now in the 7th. There's James 16th, I think. What happened there? I'm not too sure if he had a little bit of a moment, but he's got himself going again. The Ned Whiskey car. Down in 18th position. And Rishi is now finding him coming into pit lane. So maybe those tyres are shot here for him early on. Lap 5, as we said, ×3 tyre wear. And the drivers are looking to get to around about lap 8, lap 10, somewhere like that, to try and get into their mandatory stop. As Dado's having a look down into the NASCAR chicane. Up over the curbs they go. As in comes Timmy. So Timmy's coming in for his compulsory pit stop. So 40k kilometre an hour pit lane. So it's a long draw run into the pits, as he's trying to pick up his bait, and he'll get serviced and get his tyres. They won't be getting any fuel on, as here's Commander Jim and Loza and Bo Kane. So this is all hot heating up now for position 7. Loza's having a good welcome first run here with ANZCRL in 8th position in the Autobahn car. We now ride on board this man Loza in 8th position. Becomes hard around the banking. Trying to pick out where they're going to brake. If they're going to brake just before this green Rolex signage on the barriers. Loz is really relishing this little battle he's having with Commander Jim. Probably just feeling himself now into this race. As Commander Jim has come a little bit unstuck, and here we go. Loz is trying to have a look down the inside, but got a little bit wobbly. So it looks like Commander Jim may just hold on. Oh, Loz is paying it there, going running a little bit wide as he opened up Bo Kane. Now Bo Kane's looking interested, and he's made the move. So Bo Kane into 8th position. So nice move by Bo. He took advantage of Loza trying to make a move on Commander Jim. Caught Loza napping and left a door wide open. It didn't take Bo two invitations. So he's got the VIP Pet Foods car up into 8th position. And he looks like he's got a little bit of pace there. 51.6 that previous lap from Bo Kane. So he's really got that pace to try and get Commander Jim. He's just got to see if he can get a run out of this corner. So hard to get the power down. The 10 to go. And there's our timing's correct. There's a little battle here for James 16, and just as I said, it is a tricky corner to get the power down, and you just seen there as we were looking at James 16th having all sorts of drama trying to get that sorted, but it's still Commander Jim being able to hold on to this 7th position over Bo Kane. Don't know how long he's going to have this position though, so Bo may look at the undercut, but 10 laps on these in the second stint of these tyres might be a little bit to ask, especially when he might become vulnerable. To talk about vulnerable, it's Commander Jim who is, because Bo Kane has got that power out of the NASCAR chicane and been able to take that position up into 7th position. But he's run wide, but he should maybe be able to keep that power on just to keep Commander Jim at bay. And look behind them, Woody Lizard has made a move also on Captain Awesome, or just trying to defend. In the Premier Hire car, teaming up with Mitch, for Bathurst 1000 coming up. And he's looking very good out here, racing in the top 10. Woody Lizard coming back from injury. They're having a good run. You'd be happy to be in that top 10. As Slide Science has made a little bit of a move up into 11th too, after having an off early on that we sort of seen. But here we go. Woody Lizard trying down the inside. Oh, and it was Rishi, I think, just on the outs, up the top of the banking. A lap car letting these cars through, so that may have just put the fire out from Woody Lizard. Flames billowing out of the exhaust. Oh, where did Captain Awesome go? Did he run wide there, or? I think he did, Captain Awesome. He's run wide, so that's given, we haven't quite seen that, but Woody Lizard now up into 9th position as Dado's into the pit lane. Take his mandatory stop. So he'll be dropping a few positions, but it's this man, Gun 180, still out in front. He was the champion of the first series of the Brazilian Stock Car Series. Then came back and just been the previous series of the, as we said, in the Porsche Carrera Cup. Took out the championship there over Highlander 1777, who's currently 3rd position. But Waylon, obviously the man that's always had some pace, and just sometimes makes a little bit of a mistake, but he's been running good here for the opening round, up into 2nd position, as all the drivers are now finding themselves in the pit lane, taking their mandatory stop. They've reached that pit window of around about lap 8, lap 10, where they will be looking at pitting. Dado Races come out now in the 10th position. And James 16 is still putting a lot of pressure here on Metal Drive. So we've seen James 16th having a little bits of offs here and there. That's probably because he's been trying to make a move on Metal Drive. And maybe just getting it a little bit wrong. Very respectable drivers probably trying to avoid incident, but we saw so many cars loop it around that exit of the infield. And I think James 16 is just having that problem trying to get that power on. So he's losing that chance to mount a challenge on Metal Drive. As Metal Drive been able to get away each time. But here comes Dado Racer. He's already had his mandatory stop. And looks like he's going to have easy work here on James 16 as his tyres will be a lot worse than Dado. Dado's got the fresh tyres on his out lap. Will we see James come into the pit lane here? Bouncing over the curbs. No, he's going to go again, but we've got Metal Drive in pit lane. So Metal Drive's come into the pit lane. And that's elevated. James 16 up into 7th, but that won't be too long. We've got Dado Racer having a look down the inside, and he's done that, made the move. Nice move by Dado. Sun reflecting off the glass. Oh, big moment there from James 16 running deep. I think he's actually out in the grass. He is. So he's just trying to get things together as John King comes on through. Picking up some easy positions. In the Milwaukee car. Oh, Detective 209. Driver that we see with normally did really well in the Porsche Carrera Cup. A little bit beaten up there as we got Christopher Razor now. Now he's having a little look at Commander Jim in this Dunlop car. As we ride on board. Oh, as Commander Jim's run very wide, extra wide, and I think he's had a spin. He hasn't been able to hold on to that. He's got himself going again. As Highlander has come into the pits. Ashley Kutchi in 17th. Zaki 3, he's having a rotten little bit of luck there in the Red Bull car, the Black Bull car, down in 18th. As is this man, Timmy 82. Oh, Timmy 82 has actually gone skywards. He's been disconnected. So Rishi, we've got 20 runners still at the moment. Rishi taking that final position. The Scandia Fireplace car. And what's he got? He's got a 21-second gap to Loza, who's up in 19th position. Obviously found a few problems because we saw Loza actually in the top 10 earlier, as did with Zaki 3. So Commander Cirrus made a move just then on Bocane up into 10th position, and Gunner's into the pit lane. So let's see where he's going to come out, and Wayland's also in. So Zach 18 is the driver that I think has not pitted yet. So Zach 18 now takes the lead of this race with his brother behind him, but he's a lap. I think that's Loza actually. Loza, who's a lap down behind him. Woody Lizard yet to pit, but he comes into pit lane now. So Woody's taking his pit stop as Gunner has been able to just come out now of pit lane. That's Rishi just running a little bit wide of turn 1. And Gunner will be still effectively the race leader as Dado is still 10 seconds behind. Just coming through turn 1 now. So Gunner's had a great pit stop. Been able to hold on to the lead of the race. But Wayland's had a very bad pit stop, actually dropping down now into effectively 3rd place in this race. So Dado's been able to gain a position. So the undercut has worked for Dado with the fresher tyres. And Wayland, who came into the pits in 2nd position, now finds him 5th on track, but 3rd effectively. Once we got Captain Awesome and Zach 18. So Wayland's going to have those nice grippier tyres later in this race. They've got 5 laps remaining. So we should probably see Zach 18 coming into pit lane. Yes, he does. So he filters off now into the lane. You can see it's like an eternity. It's like they're just snail pace here at 40 kilometres an hour. Just running on idle pretty much. And he's in, and Captain Awesome is also coming in to pit lane. So it'll be Gunner 180 who will retake the lead of this race here on lap 13. And hard into turn 1. And he's doing a great job there out in front. The Dado Racer was a driver that's benefited from Wayland's poor pit stop. So he's got himself now into 2nd position. Wayland in 3rd. And then this man here, Highlander, in the Monster Energy car in 4th position. He's done a really good job, Highlander, for race 1. Qualified in 4th position, finds himself still in 4th. And Wayland, who was had the pole position, is obviously in 3rd position. Detective 209 in the Newlong car is now coming on pace here, just in the top 10, putting some pressure on Woody Lizard for position 9. And then he can also see Bo Kane just in front of Woody as well. But Christopher Razor, we've seen him up and down this grid in the Dunlop car. And we'll pick up slide signs to see how he's faring at the moment as he's chasing down Commander Jim there in 13th position. Slide signs having a good run. He's qualified in 15th. Got up as high as running for, I think it was 11th or 10th position before he made a mistake. He's spent the rest of the race now on the comeback trail. So a good solid drive back into 14th position. And pressuring Commander Jim at this stage for 13th. This is a nice battle between 2 good drivers. And the Commander Jim's teammate, Captain Awesome, just in front of him too. So the Red Bull Ampol cars. Oh, as Commander Jim has a loop. So that's corner there. The Western, the International Horseshoe has caught out quite a few people. So off he goes again, but he's lost a position. And now Bo Kane looks like he's starting to become vulnerable to the pace here of Woody Lizard. It's that exit there of that in and out of the bus stop. Very good. Bo Kane. They're getting near the end of this race now with about 3 laps remaining. And look at this. Here we go now. 3-way battle for 8th position, Bo Kane. And we've got Woody Lizard and Detective 209 just behind him. And it's getting very, very testy here as Detective's putting a lot of pressure. And Christopher Razor is getting excited to see what's going on in front of him as well. As Woody's going down the inside of Bo in the infield section. So Woody Lizard's made that move stick as Bo Kane now under pressure from Detective. Detective was thinking around the outside of the kink. That's a big call, and it just backed out in time. And obviously was trying to get around that outside if he could to have the inside. Here, the Western Horseshoe, but Bo Kane in the defensive mode at the moment, trying to hold on to that 9th position. What we do have some nice fancy cameras that we can go to here with AMS2 as well, the little roll around, as we look at Detective 209 and what he can do here with Bo Kane in the DeWalt card. It's a little bit damaged, as we can see. I think there's some static cameras there that we've been able to get hold of as well, which is a bit different into turn 1. You don't see that camera too often, so that's a nice little action camera there. So we'll try and get back to the action here as we were playing around then with the cameras. And got some good little shots of them breaking into the infield section. And we're just on board. Oh, we're watching Detective, seeing if he can get past Bo Kane. Bo Kane, I think, pitted a little bit earlier than these guys, so his tyres are starting to really wear out with his ×3 tyre wear that was on for this race. Still got Gunner out in front. About an 8-second margin to Dado, but here comes Detective down the inside. Is he into the bus stop chicane? Who's going to be the late of the late breakers? It looks like it's Bo Kane that's been able to hold on to this, but oh, he's running a little bit wide. Will that be a track cut penalty? I don't think so. I think he was well and truly still there. All 4 wheels were on that yellow part of the inside curb. That was close. You can see that pressure is starting to mount with Detective. So Bo Kane's just trying to see if he can hold on here. And Christopher Razor, he's been slowly catching these guys. 150.4 that previous lap. He's absolutely killing it at the moment on the last lap. See what he can do. Gun 180 coming on through the bus stop chicane for the last time. Oh, absolutely eating that exit curb. So here he comes around to claim victory here for race one, round one. The V8 SuperCars Championship. Series 4 for 2023 here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League. And he started the way he finished in the Porsche Carrera Cup. So here he goes. He gets another victory. And Gunner's making a habit of taking victories here in the first opening rounds. But let's have a look. Christopher Razor actually has been able to claim. It looks like second position goes to Dado Racer. Well done to him. But Christopher Razor has now also made a move on Bo Kane. So he's up into ninth. He was 11th on the last lap. So we've just missed that as we were looking at the leaders go over. So he's jumped up 2 positions. So something's happened to Detective. He was putting a lot of pressure on Bo Kane. And he's dropped now 8 seconds in. He's now in the clutches of Detective. I mean, Captain Awesome, sorry. So Zach 18 comes home in 6th position. Commander, seriously nice drive by himself. Woody Lizard comes home in 8th position. And Christopher Razor in 9th. Bo Kane finds himself in 11th. Captain Awesome in 11th. Well done, Detective. Slide Science in 13th. Well done to Slide as he decides to have a massive big burnout in the shell helix. Nice work by Slide. Always a showman. Even though he came home there in 14th position. 13th, I think it was. As he's just smoking them up here. Nice job. Blown up engine, I think, by Slide. But awesome job by everyone. So let's have a look at the results here as they finished. And you can see Gun 180 finished out in first with an 8-second margin over Dado Racer. So he claims 150 points, up a couple of positions there from qualifying. Wayland actually dropped 2 spots, not 1. A bit of a typo there in the Cool Drive racing. Highlander in 4th position, qualified 4th. That's an outstanding opening stanza for him. Came second last season in the Porsche Carrera Cup, so he's got his season in the V8 Supercars started in the right direction, as has John King. Zach 18 in 6th position. Good job by Zach. Up 3 positions from his qualifying. Commander Cirrus as well, 4 positions for himself. Woody Lizard up by 11th positions. Obviously qualified a lot lower than what he had the race pace there, so that's a good job. Christopher Razor picking up 2 positions in the last lap over Bo Kane and Detective, who just fell out of the top 10 there and also dropped 4 positions, so he won't be happy about that result. Captain Awesome did well, you could say an awesome job, up 9 positions after qualifying 21st, up to 12th. Slide Science. He'd be happy with 13th, but he probably would find that he could have got up in the top 10, I reckon, if he didn't have that early mistake. Commander Jim Zaki 3, dropping a ton of play, nearly 10 positions there. So things didn't go right for the Black Bull racing car of Zaki 3. James 16th, a couple there for 16th, so that was a good result as well for himself. And Ashley Cucci, not a bad job. Loza dropped a few. Metal Drive as well. Rishi, the last of our finishers, DNF by Timmy. After 11 laps, unfortunately didn't get to the end, and the Unicorn also not being able to finish that race. So that's a shame. But there we are, our podium. Gunner for race 1 for the Penrite Racing, and the Petronas Racing Dado Racer takes 2nd position here at the Daytona 200. And we have got Wayland in the Cool Drive Racing finishing in 3rd position. So well done to those guys for the podium. And again, thanks for watching the replay of round 1 of the V8 Supercars. Race 2 will be available very shortly. So until then, take it easy, and we'll be back sometime this afternoon. Thank you.